Order, everybody. Let's start with a flag salute. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Val, would you call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Young,
Here.
Commissioner Ingram.
Here.
Commissioner Jones.
Here.
We are here. Chief is at a conference.
Okay. We have a nice big crowd here. Does anybody want to introduce themselves? You don't have to, if you want. Okay. Approval of the minutes.
I have gone over the minutes and I move that we approve the Monday, April 28th, 2025 Commissioner meeting minutes.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Okay. Financial report. We have copies of the vouchers list up here if anybody wants to take a look at those. And today we have vouchers number 284 through 320 in the amount of $45,171.26. I'm sorry. $45,171.26.
Madam Chair, I've reviewed the vouchers and receipts and move to approve vouchers 285 through 320 for the amount of $45,171.26.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Okay, Commissioner comments. I've got a couple of things. First of all, in an interest to improve our transparency, I've asked Val to start putting a little more information on the agendas, because when we do public comment, you guys need to know you're commenting on what we're doing on the agendas, and you need to know a little more information about what's there. So the comment period comes after we do that. So, comment period comes before we do any voting on issues. So just wanted to let you know that's a little change that we've made. Also, there is, Steve's going to be putting on the website the a new poster that we just got out on wildfires and how fire season is starting, and they're expecting over, I think it was 9
Nine.
million acres of land to be burned this year. So there's some tips in there for folks to how to maintain their homes and prevent any fires. So he'll be putting
Yeah,
that
I'll
on
find a
there.
link and put that on our
Is that through
Facebook page.
the U.S. or is Washington
That's the
State only?
national
National.
forecast.
Okay.
National.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So also, I noticed on the website, it says our meetings are the 4th Wednesdays of the month, and
Or the
that
third.
should be the 3rd, so maybe
I will
we
fix
could
that,
make
yep.
that change. And I don't know what's the status as far as, Diedrich, maybe you can say the status of where we are with the website and fixing that.
Nothing has changed. I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great, thank you. But that is in the works, so we're hoping to get that fixed. There's a lot of things that we need to update and fix on there, so. Let's see, I think I got one other thing. No, I think that's all I've got for now, so Steve?
Just one note, Val, thank you for sending me the information on the conference associated with the state auditor next month, and I plan to register and attend that. So hopefully we'll have some more refined information. One of the reasons in a particular brief I was at a couple of weeks or maybe a month or so ago, one of the things that the auditor charges you to audit you,
Yeah.
like by the hour. So understanding their system and how to organize our system to seamlessly be audited with their system seems to be a substantial savings in that particular aspect. And I suspect that for the foreseeable future, we'll have substantial, and rightfully so, state auditor oversight. So the more streamlined we can make that, and the more help we can give, our staff that does that, and I think save a penny or two to here or there, which is what I'm all about. So, thank you. That's all I have now.
Thank you. Nick?
And I don't have any comments at this time.
Okay. All right.
It's a
Chief-
shocker.
Chief's report. Mike said he was gonna leave a report. Did he do that? Do you guys-
No, I
I
don't.
yeah, you didn't pass anything to me,
Okay.
so perhaps Steve may want to.
Steve Knight.
Steve,
Deputy Chief. Yeah.
did Mike give you any information for his chief's report?
No, not really, but, we just finished putting 5 people through the wildland class. That was a total
Awesome.
success. I mean, real success. We didn't burn this year. We had a few problems on that for permits, but we will do it, we'll be doing it next year. Our people have already, even the last day of the training, they went on a fire as we got done.
Oh, good.
It worked out real good. And they're gung ho and every one of them worked.
Mm-hmm.
It's real good. But go back to your comment, and you brought up about, on the wildfires for this year. And we did this the year after the Deckerville fire,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was just, shell shocked. And so got a hold of Department of Natural Resources and did, a Firewise community thing, what you could do to your house. And at that time, and I don't know if they still do, there's different groups that would, like if your house has got a lot of brush around it, they'll come out and they got groups that'll clean it up, or if they can tell you different things you need to do. But if we get enough interest in it, and now's the time to do it, because we're gonna get blasted next month.
Yeah.
There's none of us gonna be sitting around. But if they were interested, I could get a hold of somebody and get the ball rolling to see what I can get here. We gotta have, comments from the community if they're interested.
Mhm.
So
Is it-
do you want people to make a comment on Facebook, or do you want them to call the office and Val could direct them to you?
Well,
or how-
all we gotta do is get it to, like, to Val, whether it's, because I don't look at Facebook all the time,
Sure.
Okay.
and not everybody has Facebook that would be interested in it.
Right.
Because when the fire hit, after that, we had a meeting like a month or so after, well, 2 months, because we were still blasted out on fires up the rest of summer. But everybody in the community was bringing up that they wanted to do it. Well, then by next, May, when we set it up, we had about 15% of the people that was really, well, I don't think they need it, but in today's world of what's going on, all you gotta do is look at TV.
Right.
They would be really wise if they wanted to, get in on that and learn some stuff about their property. Plus learn how we do this stuff, but,
Right.
Sure.
the DNR talking and they do a really good job of it. And it's good. They bring a lot of stuff to show people.
I remember back on that Deckerville fire, after there was people that were volunteering to pick up farm animals for people
Yeah.
as well, right? Is that still out there?
I don't know.
Seems like
like
we
it-
should
I
have
think
like a
it's the thing
plan.
of just make the phone call.
Community.
Yeah, if a phone call is made, we can get someone to do it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but.
Well, I know, I talked to, Jacob Killets about bringing his, equipment out, and he had volunteered his equipment and an operator to go out for some, people, we're referring to the people that can't get around
You're
and
right,
clear their property.
because we're.
And that's still on the books, plus, if there's a way we can get it through the school, because they got in order to graduate, I believe they have to have
40
so
hours
many
community
community
service.
service hours. If they could join us and go out to the community,
Yeah,
pick up what we can, I got a lawnmower, I got things that, other people don't, that, to stop that from happening.
yeah. So I wish more.
It's just
people
getting the
would do
word
it.
out there.
Yeah.
Who needs it?
Is
We
that
got the people,
when
just
we had the
who needs
meetings
it?
at the Grange and all that, there was one gal that lives down by you, and she's just scared. I mean,
I'm scared,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
during
I
that time, I go camping and I have to come home to check on things.
Right? Tell your neighbors to burn the place down.
Yeah.
and even if it's, little things, if we can get it out to the community, that there is something that we could do,
Sure.
and then plus that one that Charlie Burns put on for Department of Natural Resources, we did it at the Grange. The ones that showed up, it was a big help. It
Well,
was a
maybe-
big help. They learned a
Maybe
lot.
we should ask Mike to kind of put
Yeah, I
something
think,
together for,
Yeah.
and set up like a database of people who can help with different things, and
Yeah.
then maybe have a community
That, we
plan.
pretty much have that installed already. We did that last year before all this was even,
But
well,
where is it
with
though?
other people. Like what Jeff House has got equipment that's ready to roll whenever.
But is there like a list that like
There
Val
was.
could just go
Joe-
down the
isn't
list and
Joe on
start
our-
calling?
on our roster for CAP, Joe Fazio,
Yeah, he,
he gets called right away
yeah,
for CAP.
I keep Joe on speed dial when I need a cat for
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, so we got
it's
the
a-
apparatus and stuff.
If it's a
covered.
Green Diamond fire, cause I work with them on this, and I'll respond, I'll see what's going on before I get there, and I'll have, if it's their property, I'll have at least one dozer, if not two, headed that way, and then their fire team getting geared up to head out that way. Then then I let MACECOM know what we're doing. So with like me doing that, 'cause we work together all the time, you're talking at least an hour to 2 hours ahead of schedule of getting equipment on a fire. And I love MACECOM, they're doing their job good, but when you gotta call them, then they gotta call, say, this person with Green Diamond, then he's gotta call his operators and stuff. I mean, everybody's working fast, but you're going one too many times around when I'll cut it halfway off.
Well, remember the
Yeah.
fire
So-
at Owasso where that plane crashed too?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Steve, is everything in place? Is there something we need to do?
Yeah, it had to
We
be.
just need to get it out to the community,
So just advertise it?
Yeah,
that they need
Yeah,
it.
get us
of who
the,
needs it,
you know.
you know?
So they need, the community should contact us
Yeah.
if they need help making their home
Fire.
better prepared
Yeah.
for fire
Okay.
danger. Okay.
Yeah,
Al?
Our county fire marshal has paperwork that he hands out. I don't know how to get a hold of that. I can get a hold of him.
I'll.
To go to all the homeowners to show you what you can do with your properties to make them more
Okay.
safe and what to clean up and what to do.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of people just can't
Just
get
so
out and
there is
move
that
around.
information out there, we just need to get it.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Matt Heinrich, he's got that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do
they'll
you
work
wanna
together all
like
the time.
put something together for
He's
the
one of the fire marshals.
Yeah, let me, yeah,
Facebook or something?
yeah, I wanna talk to Mike.
Yeah.
And, cause
He-
I
I'd
think that would be the POC, and I don't wanna throw something out there
In fact, I'll
this
contact
weekend and
him.
then have them come into 1,000,
Right.
you know, without being prepared, so yeah, but.
So for now, anybody
Yeah.
out there watching this, give Val a call at our office and we will have something figured out on how they can get access to this information. How's that?
Sure.
Yeah, you
No,
can just
you
build a
bet.
list of people who are interested and then,
Email.
Yeah, we
Well,
can make
well-
arrangements with apparatus and.
Along with all this, you know, you keep your eyes open on what's going on in your neighborhood.
Mhm.
And if you see a lot of smoke, you know, call him, but if you see one neighbor that's just burning limbs in his yard, that's cleaning up and with 800 degrees, you know, don't call. I mean, that's, you're minding somebody else's business when he's doing that kind of stuff, or she's doing that kind of stuff. And if we gotta run, and we do, we have to respond to those calls. So if we respond to them and something else happens, we could be to the lake or what have you, and something happened this way, you know, so you're putting us farther behind, cause it was just some, couple guys burned their limbs, you know, through the spring there. But if in doubt and you don't know what it is, but you see a lot of smoke, go ahead and call.
If it looks dangerous, then call.
So it was a
right?
couple years ago that, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry. That
If-
somebody was doing the reveal party, revealing boy or girl for a, pregnancy thing, and it popped over in the field, and that started a fire.
Yeah.
Across the road from us. So those are a lot of things you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, sure
When the
enough.
humidity gets down to where it's really super dry, it don't take but a spark to light it off.
Fair enough.
Okay.
A cigarette bite off. the window,
Anything
you
else,
blow on it
anybody?
a little bit and it's gone.
I can't think of anything else, but, you know, on people like that though, you know, it depends how it is, you know, if you wanna tell them that they shouldn't be doing that. But you gotta watch yourself, you know, that they don't get mad or mean.
Got it. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate that.
Okay, communications, do we have any communications, Val?
No.
Well, we kinda do, but I have a spot on the, under new business, so maybe I'll just cover that at that time. Public records requests,
We have, no new requests have come in, and I'm just finishing up the last of the other request.
okay. All right, at this point, we'll do public comment for any items that are on the agenda. If anybody, we, especially with so many, try to limit it to about 3 minutes and, keep it limited to the agenda items. Does anybody have any public comment?
Well, this may not, well, I'm still hearing community members and neighbors have still not received this levy document.
Oh,
Is
yes.
there anywhere they can contact to get this sent to them or get a copy
Can
or?
you copy those?
Cause
some-
several
today?
people I know have not gotten
Letter.
this and one of them sitting next to me.
Okay,
Because it states in there that you will solicit people for a pro and con statement, and did you do that?
Mhm.
Who'd you
Yes.
do,
Yep.
and
Yes.
when and why?
We had two
Because
meetings,
It's, these were sent
I'm,
after the
I'm not
fact.
sure why that was in the letter, because that wasn't part of the
'Cause
letter
this-
I
I
originally
got
wrote,
this
but,
after all of that,
Yeah.
and so this letter has, it's not dated, it has no creation date. So it's really confusing to me to get it in the mail and say you will, so that tells me you haven't done it yet.
Mhm.
And then to find out everything's already been done, so I wanna know who was solicited
I-
and why, and, you know.
I haven't got mine either, Val. I mean, Marge, sorry. So how many in here has not got their letter in the mail yet? Are you guys all Elma addresses? Say, that's what, but you got yours?
I got mine.
What do you use as a mailing list? Do you go to the county and find out members? Well, I've lived in my location
Yeah,
since
forever.
2007,
Mhm.
and I did not get anything from you people.
that's what we did, as far as I know, and I'm speaking kind of for Mike here.
Yeah,
But he went to the auditor's office, he got the list of all the registered voters in the district. Is that right, Steve?
Both active and inactive.
And we took the list and the letters down to, what's the name of that?
The
company?
shopper.
The shopper
A mailing,
in
a mail
Shelton,
house.
and they're the ones that mailed them out. So we will, maybe Val, you could give them a call tomorrow to make sure that they all got sent out.
Well, it's already been filed, yeah.
Yes.
The people have already been,
Yeah.
they were filed before these letters ever came to anyone.
Yes,
Unusual.
Have you a copy of the resolution?
yes, we do. We had two public meetings on just the levy. And we also addressed it at, two of our regular meetings. So the information was out there. Unfortunately, I don't believe that we
The
were.
website is trash.
Right, the website is deficient, and we were unfortunately not able to record the meetings because we were meeting on a date that Diedrich was no longer available, so that is an issue, and I totally understand that. We do have copies of the resolution and the levy, the pro and con statements, and the document where it was submitted, which I believe was April 30th. And so if anybody wants a copy after the meeting, come and talk to us and we'll get you copies of all that information.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry that they didn't come out in time.
Well, sorry, it doesn't handle it whenever we're talking about $600-900 for, and we're not getting the service that we need. We never have out there at Lake Milwaukee.
For the last 20 years.
Yeah.
There has not been a complete department there. That's where the money comes from.
Okay.
So we need some volunteers out there, need 5.
Okay, anybody else, public comment? Dave?
Just a follow up on the mailing that went out. I recall when we did the red card way back on the
Right,
Firefront
right.
fax, that for some reason, stuff in Elma, some of them for some reason took a lot longer than most of the cards. I just recall that.
Maybe we
happening.
might need to call the Elma post office and find out too, if there's, I don't know, we can talk later about that. Okay, Giselle,
This is back to the fire stuff, is that okay?
yes,
I think it's very, very important to have a bug out bag ready to go and to know your escape routes, because like I live in at the end of a gravel road that has fields on both sides, very narrow, one lane road. And there's no escape route except going through the fences, so I have to make sure that I have pliers or something in order to cut the fences, those kind of things. And
do you know your neighbors well enough you can talk to them
Oh, yeah.
about what to do
That's
in an
something we all-
emergency?
make sure they know an
That would
escape
be
route.
good, yeah, okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, my name's Dave Burleson. I'm a former fire commissioner from Great Harbor Fire District 2 down there. I spent 12 years as commissioner.
Dave, what did you say your last name was?
Burleson, Burleson. I live at 441 West Nawasso Beach Drive. My
Okay,
name wasn't on the mailing list, and I want to know why.
I don't know if it was on the mailing list or
Well,
not,
I've lived here as a registered voter since 2007,
right,
and so who's screwing up where?
Yeah,
Somebody
that's-
is, it's not me.
Isn't that Mason County?
what we will do, Dave,
You
is,
get property tax statements,
Well,
right?
you damn right I do.
yeah.
I'm just, no.
Well,
We're having the issue with other people as
Yeah.
well. We don't know why and
Well, I
what.
do get my mail from Matlock Post Office, and the only main reason is that my wife was the legal secretary in Grays Harbor County, and she filled out too much paperwork on people stealing mail and stuff, so I went to
okay.
a secure system there.
We can look at the list, because I'm sure Mike still has the list that we got from the auditor, is that
I
right?
would imagine so.
So we can double check and make sure your name is on that list.
Well, mailing addresses and physical addresses, well, that's funny, I get my damn tax statement from the county to my mailing address.
Okay.
Don't send it
That
to
should
my
be-
physical address.
That should be what they have.
Right, that's exactly.
We,
what it should
we
be.
will double check and make sure.
And are you people members of the Washington State Fire Commissioners
Yes,
Association?
we are.
Yes.
Sounds like to me, some of the things that are going on here, you might be well advised to get a hold of Roger Ferris and make sure you guys get some good training if you're gonna be a fire commissioner. If you haven't been involved in it before, there's a heck of a lot to know about it.
We've worked with Roger a lot.
Well, if he's working with you, that's great. I've known Roger for quite a few years, even though I haven't been a commissioner for a while. But whenever he started, I was in my first year as commissioner. I got to know him quite well, fire commissioner.
Yep, he's
Back
been
when
very
he
helpful
sat
to our
me on a
group.
bunch of committees
Yeah.
I didn't want to be on.
So,
But, have you looked into the possibility of getting some grants?
Yes.
yes,
Our chief has looked into some of them, and because of a lot of the stuff that happened prior to the board, there was no record keeping, and so we weren't qualified for a lot of grants. And because all those records were gone from the previous board, we didn't qualify for a lot of grants.
Who's the grant writer?
I don't know.
Who in the
I'm not sure.
station writes the grants?
we don't have a specific grant writer just
Yeah.
yet.
Well, you know you can go out and hire a grant writer.
Well, we've
Yes.
been offered.
He's gonna pay for it.
Well,
And we have been offered
now,
help
on
with
this
others.
resolution for this levy, is it a levy or a lit lift?
It's a lid lift.
Okay, now
Oh,
what is,
here, it's, you,
what is the money designated for that you receive? Just for the operation of the station? Or is it to purchase a certain piece of equipment?
No, it is for general operations. The last levy that we had was in 2017. And the erosion of that levy amount, it started out at $1.50 per thousand. And over the
With
years
assessments
between
and everything
17
going
and
on.
now, it's down to 90 some cents.
93.
And
You
so,
have it listed here as 90 cents.
90
It-
cents.
yeah, it could
okay,
be this
yeah.
year was 90 cents.
And so the purpose of the levy lid lift is to bring us back up to the original $1.50 per thousand. Because when we first took over, we spent pretty much the entire budget in helping to repair all the vehicles that were totally not running when we took this department over. There was almost $100,000 in vehicle maintenance just to get the vehicles started and running. We've had a lot of expenses. We've had a lot of fines and fees from
Records request lawsuit.
L&I, the state auditor, and so it depleted the money that thank God was still left in that account when we took it over.
If I could add something.
But we are now trying to get the levy lid increase back up to the regular level that it originally was back in 2017.
When we started into this process, when we started trying to get this back on its feet, every vendor we went to, we found out that the bills hadn't been paid.
Yeah.
And we owed tremendous debt to everybody.
Mhm.
If it was a parts store, they ran it up until they wouldn't sell them anything else, and they went to another parts store. And I saw that with my own eyes.
And also, when we took over, after we got the keys, after we got the physical building unlocked, when we actually entered this building, they had stolen everything. So we've had a lot of equipment we had to replace, a lot of office equipment, a lot of other supplies.
No radios.
Everything
No
was
pagers.
gone.
So
ground up.
I've been reading the local paper, to try to find out what's going on, and after they said they're finally gone, there was no more reporting. So, just before I sat down, and we heard any word about them yahoos getting their butt owed and
So last
Still waiting.
we heard, we're still
So are
waiting. We know the FBI are active. We've heard that they've tried to subpoena them, serve subpoenas, but last we heard was they weren't successful in that. And that was 3 months ago, something like that. That was an update from the sheriff
Yeah, I think that was 2 months.
2 months ago.
So,
So
but they are
it's-
still working on that part
We're
of
in the
it.
dark. We hear little bits and pieces from the county sheriff. Yeah,
Okay,
he's got a.
yes.
Yes, you made a statement, and I haven't been involved at all, and I know that, but you made a statement that you weren't able to record it because the person wasn't here.
No, we weren't, what happened is we changed our meeting date to Mondays.
Right.
And Deidre was not available on Mondays
Right.
to record and
I understand that.
videotape.
All I'm saying is, would you be able to use your phone and record it and then have a stenographer take it down?
Well, he is back now.
Okay,
so-
but I'm just saying in the
so,
future, if
yeah.
that
If you
happens,
have issues.
Sure.
every meeting can be recorded
Sure.
because you all have cell phones.
Yeah.
And they all have the recording of, yeah, that's all I was saying, just a
And
point of notice.
to go with that, there's issues with storage. We have to store that, and it has to be transferred from the phone. We have to have a database to store that digitally, post it on the website. So there's a lot of gray areas to get that taken care of legally.
Records retention laws and
Yeah.
things like
And
that.
in all honesty, they did try to do Zoom meetings. It's just
Yep.
that with the size of this room and the equipment that was available,
I just,
you couldn't hear them.
yeah,
Mhm.
I just.
No,
thought
that's
it was
a-
an option, that's all.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
no,
thank
yeah.
you for that.
Appreciate it.
And there's
I'd also add that just, if you look at the end of our table, you're looking at the entire administrative staff of District 12.
And she does a
Wow.
good job
Her.
too.
So,
Retired and then came back.
yeah. Okay, any other questions? All right, let's move along. Let's see, unfinished business. Don't think we have any at this point.
Well, I think you mentioned, the website,
Oh,
making a diligent effort
Yeah,
to improve our
That's- we've
website,
kind of addressed that, yeah.
structure, and so forth. We are able to get our meetings posted and our links posted out there, stuff like that, but you're absolutely right. It does, we'd like to be, a bit more efficient and organized in that, but again,
we know it's deficient right at the moment. All of our documents are not on there, even though it kind of looks like they should be. So anybody needing documents and cannot find it on our website should contact Val and do a public records request for that information. Since we've taken over, we have all of our records. It's just a matter of getting help with the technology of getting it out there to the public, and
Yeah.
we're working on it. But it's been a lower priority compared to all the other things we've been trying to fix. So, but we definitely are working on that, and I'm hoping that by the next meeting that should be all up and running. So, okay. Resolution 25-5 is a resolution adopting a new meeting schedule. I think
We already made a motion.
You made the motion
Yeah.
last time.
so, we just made the
We
motion.
just have to
We didn't
sign
have-
it.
Oh, okay,
yeah, we have to now approve the resolution, yep.
okay, so, where is it here? Okay, so it's a, Resolution 25-5, adopting a new regular meeting schedule, and the resolve, there's copies up here, so I'll read the resolved part to you. It is resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Mason County Fire District 12 that all regular meetings shall normally be held at the Matlock Fire Hall, 2950 West Matlock Brady Road, Elma, on the third Wednesday of every month henceforth. And this neglects to have the meeting time, which is 6:00 p.m. That needs to be added on there, Val.
Okay.
And we can write it on there. Okay,
Well, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-5 for adopting a new regular meeting schedule with the corrections of the time.
Second?
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Okay. State auditor update. Last month we had, a meeting, actually, we ended up having 2 meetings with the state auditor because the power went out right in the middle of it. So
Yeah.
we started, and what we were discussing is kind of where we're at, what we still need to submit. They pretty much have gotten everything that we have, and they told us that they have not begun the financial condition portion of the audit. They've been mostly working on the fraud part of it,
Forensic audit, yeah.
basically, I guess. But they've now got the annual report. They are beginning the current financial condition report. And they told us that when they get to this point, there's 3 levels on the reporting. And I'm a little confused as to whether this is just all 3 of these or there's one of these that will apply. But the low level report will list the exit items, recommendations, and best practices, and we will get a written document from them spelling that out. A medium level is we'll get a management letter with recommendations, and that comes to the board. And then a higher level is what we've seen in the past, where they present the findings to us, and then the district provides a response. So that's kind of the level. And we saw that at the, when Wallsworth were involved.
We started that whole process January 1st? In January, right, of 24?
Yes.
The auditors did?
Yes.
And they started it off with them, Wallsworth, or
Right.
Kelly and Brian.
They did get a few documents from the other board when they started, and then we spent quite a bit of time scrambling, getting the additional information that they needed. And then the last component was the annual audit, which is now complete. So now that they will, that shouldn't take, yeah. Well, the audit is it's an accountability audit for the years of 21, 22, and 23.
Yeah.
And
I'm so sorry. Why you don't do stuff like that?
That scared us.
Please,
Woke everybody up.
Christ almighty, they need to fill their air tank so they can get the truck back in service.
Yep.
Yeah, you heard that.
Just, just woke me up a little.
Everybody's part was
Yeah.
The 8 car's in service, so we can.
okay. So
And then they had a pause too, right? There was a time where
yeah.
when they left, they paused
was
so
a
that
pause
we could get
'cause-
reestablished.
Because they knew we had no access to documentation and whatnot, and a lot of information that the state auditor was given was information that individual taxpayers compiled, and we were lucky that we had documents from the earlier process. So they did have a lot of information.
And does 2023 cover through their entire?
Yes.
being
Yes,
here? Okay.
yes.
Perfect.
And they had a little bit of 24, but the auditors aren't doing that portion yet.
Right.
Okay.
And they
But it
really
would
didn't
be
do much.
And they didn't
in
Yeah,
that
they didn't
time
do
period
much.
either.
Detrimental, what little amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So, the last meeting, there was a discussion about whether we needed to officially report the loss of public funds. And the auditor said that the state has already done that for us when we uploaded the
good.
documents that we had. So
Awesome.
that is completed. We have paid the IRS $2,000 in back payments. We do not know what the upcoming debt is going to be. And we also are going to owe the auditor $80,000 between the accountability audit and the fraud audit. So there'll be actually 2 audits. So that's $80,000 will be coming forward. We have sent a letter to the county to see what they can, if there's any relief that they can provide. And I don't know if they if you guys have, scheduled that for a hearing or anything, do you know?
We have not scheduled that part for a hearing.
Okay,
I've been trying to work with the auditor to get it waived.
okay, okay.
Thanks, Commissioner, I
Doesn't
appreciate
Thank
look
that.
like
you.
they're
Thank you.
going to be able to waive it, but I think we can get some relief. And they've agreed they're more than happy to have long extended payment terms for what
Yes,
bills you do have.
they did tell us that too, there's payment
We're
plans.
working on it, but.
Well, we appreciate anything the
So can I
county
do that
can
with my
do.
taxes, long extended payment? I'd like to pay $10 a week. Good luck.
Is
Yes.
that 80 grand what you owe now in addition to like the 7,500 you've already paid them?
Yeah,
Or you
yeah,
make
this-
them
The 80,000 will be for the accountability audit and the fraud audit that they're not, they're not completed yet.
So you haven't paid anything towards that?
Not for the current one. We paid the
Oh,
the
this
old
is for
one.
the old one.
Yeah.
That was
Um,
leftover.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
still make, okay,
Because this is
you're making
7,500
payments
that we
on
just
that
paid today.
48.
Oh,
Okay,
I see
was
what,
hoping
yeah.
this was the
okay.
payment
That's what
for
she's
the
asking.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that the last reading?
Yeah.
It would lessen the
I
blow.
don't know.
Yeah.
I just got this in the mail.
Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't say.
So, anyhow, and then as far as the fraud investigation goes, they have asked us again if there's any outstanding vendor payments after they left, and there were quite a few. We paid them, and Val has sent that information to them as they have requested. So, and the last thing that they said, that once this audit is completed and done, we should expect at least one more audit in the future. So we're gonna be dealing with the auditor for a long time, but hopefully we
They do
can,
that every 6 years anyway?
pardon?
Don't they do it every 6 years?
I think that might be the
Yeah.
case, but in
I
this.
think that's the routine.
These
You know,
If everything
basically you
goes
submit a financial report, they'll review that, and if they determine based on that report, they need to do further audits, they will do so, whether that's annually or whatever. But I do believe you're right, sir. There is a periodicity in which they will do a full audit of 5 or 6 years, I believe.
Yeah. I think it's because we've had a positive fraud audit prior, and so I think we're on their list to audit every 3 years or something.
It's more frequent.
For maybe even
Yeah.
6 years or 2 audits,
When
3
there's
audits.
findings.
Yeah.
And they said we should have another update in a few weeks, which
Okay.
we should be getting one pretty
Yeah.
soon again then,
Sure.
so.
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
so.
So, any other questions on the audit?
Can
Yes.
we add that $80,000 of fraud investigation auditor to their bill?
It is, all of the
kind of
fines and
is.
fees that we are incurring because of their negligence is being added through, not sure if it's through the sheriff, but through the FBI. That will all be part of the,
Their investigation.
the amount
Yeah.
owed, yeah,
There's a lot of money you get anything back at all.
right. And
That's the
that's, you know,
question.
Dave, that's an important thing is,
We can't count on it.
the public is expecting, some huge penalty, and the realistic point is that, how much is there that they actually have to hand over to us if we get awarded that, and
Assets.
so I think it's important for the public to know we are pursuing it, but your expectations should not be super high. So,
If I'm
but we're
not
not
mistaken,
giving up, so.
on a positive note, and I think you guys might remember this, is that we heard that at this point with the FBI having it is to allow them to do their work. Once it gets to their attorneys and then in court, the judge can, fine them restitution, however much it is, and they can't file bankruptcy,
Yeah.
and they can't get out of it. So that is a good thing. Otherwise, if it was to be done at the sheriff's level or the county level, then they can
Right.
file bankruptcy and get out of it.
So it's gonna pay us to have patience and wait.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
okay. All right, moving on, where am I? the interlocal agreement with West Mason. So my original purpose of putting this on the agenda was just to kind of make some clarifications as to some of what Mike said last meeting, about the run cards and the requirement of Central to respond, and I did not understand at the time that is because there is a county-wide mutual aid agreement. So that's what that is stemming from. Since then, we received a letter from West Mason Fire Department, because we at the last meeting, we ended the ILA, and that just reminded me, do we need to redo that, Val?
No, we don't have to have anything signed according to that.
I mean, for the original one.
We never signed anything for the original one. It was just a motion.
Okay.
That's what, yeah.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to read this letter to you. It has come to our attention that Mason County Fire District 12 is ending the ILA, and ILA is the interlocal agreement for folks who don't know what that is. We had that agreement in place in which they were supporting us with their BLS responses. Is that, do I have that
Yeah,
right?
they were covering our EMS calls when we didn't have EMS
Right.
services available.
So since then, we've gotten our car, or our license
And
and
certifications.
certifications, and it was decided that that agreement would end. They were notified, and so I'll go on. It has communicated, it has also been communicated to our chief that West Mason Fire will still be on the run cards for BLS transport calls. We accept the email from you dated the 19th of May as written notice of termination of the ILA. In the interest of fairness and to not use West Mason funds to make up for the shortfall in certified personnel responding as required by the Department of Health, West Mason will impose a $500 charge for each call that we arrive on scene within the boundaries of Mason 12, at which there is not a certified medical responder and/or that does not result in patient transport. This charge is designed to cover the cost of fuel and potential overtime that will be incurred while fulfilling Mason 12's obligations. The above charge is not designed to be a punitive measure in any way. This is for our own protection because we cannot use our capital or personnel to fulfill Mason 12 service obligations. We feel morally bound to continue to support the citizens of Mason 12. However, it cannot be on the backs of West Mason taxpayers. We will continue to respond to fires as requested on the run cards per the countywide mutual aid agreement. This letter concerns only the medical calls and obligations addressed in the applicable Department of Health license. So that is, I don't think there's any action that we need to take on that. I don't know if Mike has seen this. He's been out of town on vacation. It was
He's
emailed
back
to
tomorrow.
him. And so he will have this, but
And though not dated, I think that letter was just published yesterday, late afternoon, so I'd like to
I
table
received it
discussion until the
yesterday.
chief has a chance to address it. That's falls into the realm of operations and that kind of
Yes,
thing, which
yes.
I think is
Okay, if this is
his
in
role.
place, so it's my understanding that they have you guys have up to 45 minutes to respond to a medical before they can come. Is that correct?
no.
I think
I
that's the
don't-
way I read it. I could be misunderstanding.
No, I
think
don't
they
believe
get-
so.
I
But
think,
they can't come for
and-
45 minutes until they can come on their own without a call and a second response.
I don't
No,
think so,
I'm not aware. I'm
Bruce.
gonna have to
I
defer
think-
that to Captain Jones, our EMS
All right,
captain.
well, that's how I read it.
Yeah, as far
You
as I
guys have-
understand, and we
12
can
has
get,
45 minutes to respond to a heart attack before they can come on their own,
Or
without
do
you
you
guys
call
calling
them?
for us.
How do they come out?
so they
Who
depending on how the run cards are set up, and the chief would know this a lot better because he
Right.
sets them
They
up.
are on the run card. according to
They
this.
are first tone on a BLS call. Right now, our ILA is still in place, so they're first tone on all our calls, whether it's BLS or ALS. They're going to come out and assist and provide BLS services.
So how much field experience do we have, our EMS people? I mean, I know they're certified, they got trained, but that, being book smart and being
sure.
hands-on smart, they're completely different. So how much field experience does this department have?
Less than 6 months.
Yeah, it's less than 6
Less than
months.
6 months.
We have a lot of EMRs. We have 6 that graduated, 4 that are currently certified, 1 that will take their protocols test this Friday, and then all they have to do is submit the applications to the
But
state.
that's just still green to me.
Green, it is green, and
Being hands-on and
people.
being out there and being a decision maker and being.
They've been doing a lot of calls.
Yeah,
strong enough to
and
make it.
and that's the other thing is that they are going on calls with West Mason. West Mason is helping them out and teaching them anything
And
new.
you guarantee they can stand alone? You guarantee me they can stand alone?
I can't guarantee anything because I can't predict the future.
So it might be short on calling them off as quick.
So
I have a
in my
question
mind.
though, because was my understanding
Well, maybe
that
for one
we
thing.
both get called at the same time.
Yes,
And
right now.
both head to the call.
But
Yep.
aren't they ours?
And then it's up to us if we call off
Yes.
West Mason or not. Is
Yes,
that correct?
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if the patient refuses, transport, then they could be called off,
So
canceled.
they're not waiting 45 minutes, Bruce. They're
No.
um,
They're being
both
toned
coming
right
at
away.
the same time.
Are they the only ones that respond to us, or is it 13?
No,
No.
Central Mason also responds,
That's what I'm trying.
But that's
and they're
advanced
automatic.
life support.
They have transport, we don't
That's
have.
Right.
advanced life
Correct.
Right, but
support.
they
That's
can
the
come out.
paramedic.
Yeah, but they also have BLS services.
No, well, they can come to you.
Dave, you had your hand up.
How many of these individuals are available for call at any given moment?
I really cannot answer that because I don't know.
Well,
We're a volunteer.
If this is the case, if we are staffed that low, don't you think calling this mutual agreement off, don't you think we should hold off on that for a while?
They don't want us to back us up unless we pay for it.
That's not the case.
Whenever it comes to somebody
That's not
like-
true.
That's,
So
It's
And I
currently
don't-
$5,000.
Okay, then.
and just for the public's information, we asked
And they don't respond to
you
anything.
guys, quiet please.
But my life is worth $5,000.
We asked for this ILA back, I can't remember when it started, but the initial cost was $7,500 a month. West Mason took it on themselves to lower it for us the last two or 3 months.
He's not that bad a guy.
So, they've been trying to help us out. And I think this community has benefited hugely from West Mason's assistance. So, I think people need to keep that in mind. This is not a punitive, and he says that, this is not a punitive charge. They're trying to cover the cost of their fuel. They have put out a lot of money in helping this district, and they've not asked for anything.
$500 is cost. There's no
So
profit.
I just want to put that out there.
Pure cost.
And I know some
And
of you
that's
don't
only
agree,
if
but
they don't transport.
Right.
Because if they transport, they bill the insurance and get compensated that way. Yeah.
$500 is a good price, especially for some of the medical supplies that they have to use.
Yeah.
One of those medical supplies could cost just that $500, and they're still out of their gas money or whatever else was used on that.
And they
So-
also have paid staff, and their volunteers
Full-time.
receive.
Full-time,
Yes, and
24/7.
their volunteers receive a stipend for pulling shifts. So
Commissioner
their
Jones?
costs are much greater than ours.
Yeah.
There was a call yesterday, and without revealing anything you can't reveal, how many volunteers showed up?
6. We had 6 people show up.
what time of day was that?
That was during drill at like around
the evening.
18:30. So 6:30, 7 o'clock.
During the
6:40.
drill, did you say, Rick?
It happened,
Uh,
a call came in while they were having the. drill.
Yeah, we were
6 of the
training
people
here.
were-
Yeah. And we had about 4 or 5 more that stayed here to continue training.
Dave has a good point, because how many do we have, during the day?
Yeah, cause that's.
That, I really can't answer that because, I really can't answer that because we're a,
That's why I'm saying.
okay, hold
I
on.
think- I
Let
don't
me
think we
answer
should
your
jump
question
down on
first.
Something like this at that.
You gotta let me finish my statement. We're an all volunteer fire department and okay, hold on.
I've been in one for
Yeah,
25 years.
I understand. But unless we do a stipend or a day shift stipend, which I don't believe we've discussed that or can afford it, we can't force people to stay in district. So if they're here, they're here. We can't guarantee anything but everyone's doing their best they can.
Okay.
You pretty much got two minimum every day.
Yeah.
You got Ronnie and Scott, if you were to look at all the records, they're there.
Yeah.
Every morning I drop off my grandkids, there was people at the fire station, every morning when I drop off them, they do a good job.
Yep. Okay. Let's moving right along now. We will refer this to the chief, and probably next meeting he'll have a comment, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So, now we have good of the order for anything not on the agenda. Does anybody have any good of the order? Dave?
Anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Dave Purcell, president of the Fire Association out here. And I want to invite everybody to an open house community meeting here at the fire station. It's sponsored by the Fire Association. We will be cooking hot dogs and having a potato salad and all the fixings here. The chief will be here, he's the guest speaker, and he'll be here to answer questions that y'all have about any of this stuff going on. I'm twisting the arm of the sheriff. I'm gonna try to get him here. I can't say he'll be here because I haven't confirmed that yet. But we want everybody come down and have a meal, ask questions, look at all the equipment, tour the station. You can even use the bathroom nowadays. And, also, it's on June 20. Did I forget? June 21st at 5 o'clock. It's a Saturday, and the volunteers will be here, and they want to meet the community. We want the community to meet them. They put a lot of time in. They drill every Tuesday here, plus some Saturdays, and they want to meet people, meet the public, and so I'm hoping most of them will be here on the 21st, and that's also on blabbing. The association just recently bought the chief Chuck Book's laptop for $2,500 for the command rig, and he'll be able to upgrade training and use the big screen with the laptop for some training exercises. And that's pretty much all. Just we hope to see you all on the 21st of June.
At what time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
I do have something to add to the good of the order. I don't know if it was mentioned at the last meeting, but House Mouse Services,
What's that?
House Mouse Services has offered or has already scheduled. They tried to schedule it for last Saturday, I believe, to paint the station.
June 7th.
And it had to get rescheduled because of rain. So June 7th is the new date for that the station's getting painted. The paint is being donated, I believe, by the association.
Association is covering the paint.
Yep, and they're gonna have hot dogs, hamburgers out here on June 7th as well.
Do they need help painting?
I'm not sure if I don't believe so. They were gonna provide the staff and have a crew to come out. But if you wanna come out and
Very nice.
watch it get hang out, get free hot dogs. and-
Watch the paint dry?
Yeah, watch the paint dry.
Thank them for the
Yep.
information or for the help, definitely. Anybody else? I just wanted to say that it's EMS Appreciation Week, I think, so want to thank everybody, all of our EMS volunteers for their dedication and help for our district. So everybody should give them a hand. Okay.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
Here you go.
I want to thank Trina for all the work you've done with all the paperwork.
Thank you, Dave.
I love you.
That's very nice. Thank you. Okay, do we,
I make
Madam
a
Chair.
mo- oh, yep.
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn.
I second.
any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. And if you need any of those documents, come on up and we'll get copies.
Yeah.